Pa! That's what I'm talking about. Guys, Facebook, namaste. God bless. Where the hell you been? Actually, where the hell have I been? How are all of you, man? Happy belated New Year. Wow. We're talking, what, almost 10 days here. But I want to share with you guys probably one of the biggest fights that I've ever had to endure the last, what, 2 weeks now? Yeah, about 2 weeks. And how when you compare the two, it's transformation, basically one-on-one. And if you can get through that, if you can keep working on that, persisting through that, you are going to evolve into the most amazing being. Believe me when I tell you. But to me, get dust all over the microphone. Let me clean you off there, Meatball. You got a little dusty not being around here because you had something. I'm talking to myself here. I had something that I've never had before, which totally consumed me. And to me, without the basic wisdom and knowledge about myself, which I always talk about here on America's Mentor, you understanding yourself, understanding what's going on under the hood, obstacles and trials and tribulations like this indeed will happen, but you'll be able to handle them even better, even in the down times. Now, if you guys notice, on the 26th or 27th of December, I think it was, I made my last video. I was sharing the Christmas thing, I was going on, and I had my New Year's show ready to go. But on the 28th, and mind you, New Year's, I don't remember. I have no concept of New Year's Eve, and I'll explain why. And you guys say, oh, now I know what's going on, as you can tell by my voice. Starting the 29th or 30th, I awoke with this feeling in my body that something wasn't right, and that I haven't felt this in a couple decades. The day went on at work, and we're getting ready for the holiday, and I felt myself getting extremely tired. Extremely. I mean, literally fatiguing where I'm yawning and can't even keep my eyes open. That night, the whole shit show for the next, 8-9 days straight started to evolve. I woke up and I was shivering. And we're talking on what now? This is the 30th. Shivering beyond control. And you guys can already guess probably what's going on with me. But what happened from there, it wasn't just a random cold. We're talking the flu. And if you guys look on the news and everything else out there, the flu is rampant, and strain, R2D2 104.3 is out there. Kind of sounds like a radio station. And it's out there and it's scaring people. It's scaring people. And indeed, yes, it is killing people. The realization that came to me when I woke up that morning was, here I am, a 59 going on 60-year-old male, and I'm about to experience the full-fledged effects of something I haven't experienced in about 2 decades. And indeed, I was right. I knew what was going on. I knew what was going on. For the next day, the shivering, I remember walking around the loft, or not the loft, the penthouse here for America's Mentor, with fully clothed, hoodie on, and my winter coat, sleeping under blankets. All that, I knew what was going on because the body was aching, everything was starting to evolve, and it was coming on really fast. And to me, I was saying to myself, I am screwed. I knew this because this is what and you'll understand what I'm talking about as far as transformation goes. And I kept saying to myself, Jerry, you're screwed. You better get some information right now. So what I did was I hobbled over to where I am sitting right now, jacked on the computer, and I learned each phase of what was going on as far as the flu goes. And what stood out the most, and what you guys can relate to, was where it attacks the lungs. To me, this is where I knew I had to really amp up what was going to happen to me. And sure enough, it started. I mean, the cough started, the stuffiness started. I can tell you for the next 2 days afterwards, I mean, the pain that was going on in my face and what was coming up from my lungs. I mean, it was like Skittles. It was colors of the rainbow, man. But what I knew to do, and this is what you guys need to understand for yourself. This is why it's so important for you to realize that you have to understand your body. What I knew was I just had a physical a couple months earlier. And if you guys ever had a physical, which obviously all of you probably have, with the My Chart, you can get a panel. In other words, they check your blood and all the systematic areas of your body under that panel. I knew every one of them was green, which is a great sign. What I knew was I was healthy. Indeed, I was getting hit by something really bad. And we're not talking like, the partial flu. We're talking the full-fledged, every orifice of the body, every digit of my finger was excruciating pain. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I knew I had to attack the lungs. What I was saying is, before, when I did the research, how it attacks the lungs, I remembered that I had a nebulizer. I said, wait, let's start jacking in the nebulizer. There's going to be two components to this story that you guys got to realize. The doctor, when you get a viral infection, the doctor really cannot do anything except give you something that will perhaps shorten it. Otherwise, your best friend, especially with the flu, is your breathing apparatus, if you have it, like allergies. Even a nebulizer that will keep your lungs moist, because the whole point of this is you've got to keep getting this stuff up. And as you can tell by my voice, by the second or third day, my larynx, my voice box was fried. Everything was, the burning that was going on and the pain that was going on as far as the whole area itself. It's hard to explain. And this is not to scare you guys, because this is everywhere, mind you. But the point is, if you're healthy, you're going to get through it. Like I was saying, the two best friends you have in a scenario like this is your nebulizer and your pharmacist. And my pharmacist, where I work, we're associates, and we talk a lot, because Tori and I, we get our couple scripts there. Great guys over there, they understood. By the third or fourth day, I made it over there. I said, this is what's going on. What can I do? He told me exactly what to do. And it wasn't what I was doing. I was only doing the basic Alka-Seltzer, severe cold and flu medicine, and nebulizing. He said, look, Jerry, you got to jack in Tylenol, nebulize every 4 hours, and follow through with that. Then start with the Mucinex. Start with the pain first, because the fever was running rampant for days. It was, I've never had something. This is what I'm talking about. A virus is just growing within you. You guys got to realize that. Your thoughts are the same way. I had a physical virus that was literally growing within me, spreading throughout. And if I didn't control it, it literally, the mortality rate for people my age, and I was watching the posts on Facebook. People were getting so scared, they're getting so sick. I can honestly tell you, if you're healthy, you can get through this. You really can. Doesn't matter if you had the shot, with the shot, and I can go on for days on about that. But about the sixth day, the fevers finally stopped. And I said to myself, okay, great. Now the lungs are getting a little bit better. But what was rampant, and you guys can attest to this if you ever had it, was the fatigue. The reason why I said I didn't remember New Year's was because I didn't realize there's a mental block, a mental fog that you actually experience. So for days, Jer was not here, man. Jer was a complete, like this entity of a meat suit walking around, living life but not realizing where he was living. This is how bad it was. And if you really think about transformation, as you can tell now, I'm still mending, the voice is getting better, little by little, still nebulizing, but only doing it once or twice a day, not every 4 hours like I was, because the residuals from the flu can go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm not going to miss the hour and a half nap, or in the middle of the night waking up with the coughing fits where you can't breathe. It was really that bad, but it taught me a great lesson. I said, wait, why don't we use this event, as I got out of my little fog there, my little mental fog, as inspiration for people to realize that this is exactly what transformation is. I'm not talking about a virus that's going to get you sick. I'm talking about a mental virus that you keep replaying every single day. Transformation is, and I made some bullet points here. Transformation is you taking your thought process and flipping it around. Sounds so simple? Absolutely not. Because the old viral thoughts that keep growing, because if you start thinking a negative thought, here's a great point. You start thinking a negative thought, another negative thought, another negative thought kicks in automatically. Same thing as a virus. If you don't control the virus, it's going to spread. The mortality rate is inevitable if you don't treat it. That's what I did in my case there. I just kept persistently treating it, doing what I had to do. And by the fourth day during that process, I really started to question, is this going to work? And I started to scare myself. That's why it's so important for you to understand the mental capacity and the faculties that you are installed with, that you can go back into and open the door and say, wait, Jerry, you're going to be all right, man. You're going to make it through this. And a lot of you out there are dealing with a lot worse than what I went through. You're dealing with situations that might have terrible outcomes for you, even fatal outcomes for you. I can honestly say, you have the power to reduce the pain. You have the power to motivate yourself to feel better. But it all starts with understanding what's going on under the hood and who you are as a person. And the bullet points are amazing because it coincides with actually everything that has happened the past 9 or 10 days. When you're dealing with pain in life, how do you deal with it? When I was dealing at the peak, where I couldn't even stand up straight, the back and the coughing and everything was burning, I just kept telling myself, one step closer to getting better. And you got to keep telling yourself that with transformation. You're not going to have great days. You're not going to have bad days. You're going to have all kinds of different days until this unnatural state that you're trying to change becomes a natural state. The duration, transformation of that self you've always wanted to be, remember when I tell you, is forever. You have to practice this every day. So it's imperative that the life that you choose is filled with passion, excitement, who you want to have, be, and do in your life, and focus on that constantly. Because when you keep doing that, in that duration, you are going to get better at it. Just like I said with the flu. With the duration, I knew eventually it was going to get better after dealing with a couple of down cases of woe is me, and here I am in a full-fledged panic attack. You are going to have that. And believe me when I tell you, motivation. A lot of us out there are hooked on it. You look on any Insta and TikTok, motivation is everywhere. You're in a scenario where things aren't right. I jacked in every motivational reel that I could and started watching it. Because what that did was trigger back all the wisdom that I already knew, that I already had. We have these amazing mental faculties that are stored with all these components that we forget that we have, especially in a mental fog of not being well. Knowledge, as I mentioned before, knowledge about yourself. Make sure that you're healthy. I mean, anybody in our upper echelon of age, if you haven't had a panel done at your doctor's office for your physical to see exactly what's going on under the hood, you have no idea. And this is why people panic. If you know you're in the green, if you know you're in basically good health, like I said I was in great health, everything was green, no issues going on, I knew I can win this battle with that. Get that done for yourself. Persistence. Every single thought that comes out of you is emitting an energy force. And it's attracting the same kind of energy force. So the next time you want to bitch and moan about how bad your day is, and this is a great point I'm going to bring up. The next time you bitch and moan about how bad your day is, remember that is going to create another bad day. And as I was laid up and I was thinking about how did I get this? I mean, me, like I'm the why guy. I was saying to myself, wait a minute, how did I attract this? For the past couple of weeks leading up to Christmas, it was very busy. No days off. I'm not talking about the stress, but what I was saying to myself, I kept saying to myself, gosh, there isn't enough time to get things done. How am I going to do this? And I was constantly saying that. And not knowingly, what the flu gave me was a lot more things to worry about, not having enough time to have for myself to get things done. It was just my instant karma. And that's the beauty of it. And one of the bullet points is self. You got to know yourself. You got to understand who you are, and don't avoid what's going on in your life. If you're in a situation that doesn't make you feel good, transformation, you have to change it. You will never transform being triggered by the old thoughts that don't make you feel good. You can't avoid it, man. It's like face your fears, or your fears are going to face you. Literally, they are going to manifest in your life. So whatever's going on in your life that is hurting your intentions, or making you avoid them, you can never really avoid them because you're emitting the energy of them. Remember that for yourself. And most importantly, like I said, at the other sentence is fear. It's going to cause fear in your life when you have a situation like this. When you're dealing with transformation, you're dealing with the unknown. But if you have faith in what you're trying to accomplish, you don't have to have a vivid picture of it. But if you know that you can become better, and you can be this person of excellence, and you can show the world that best self every day, that's faith, my friends. If you can have faith as small as a mustard seed, you get to that point in your life, mountains are going to move out of your way. But you have to have faith in your abilities, because faith in your abilities will create amazing possibilities. And tonight's show was basically a test. I wanted to see how long the voice and the lungs would hold up for this. But yeah, indeed, I'm on the mend, but in a good way. And I need you guys to really think about what I said, and using that basic metaphor of what I went through. And transformation is the same way. I mean, the mental virus that is affecting you, you wonder why 99% of the people really don't transform, because of the due process that's needed to get it done. Indeed, I've been doing this for years, and a lot of you have seen me at my lowest point, and now even growing from the peak that I arose from. I can honestly say, if you're dedicated, because your life depends on it, your life literally depends on you becoming a better self. Because if you don't, you are going to grow into something that you are going to regret. You're going to grow into something that you wish you woulda, coulda, and shoulda, and have all these regrets for the rest of your life. I mean, this is the new year indeed. Late? Yes, indeed. But it's never too late to start, man. It's never too late to become that best self. So I hope this inspired you guys, and hope you guys to realize that indeed you can use situations like this. Use it on yourself. You can use the most painful scenarios in your life as metaphors and situations to realize, yes, indeed, this is what transformation is going to endure. You can get motivated for 5 minutes. You can get inspired for a day. But transformation is a lifetime amazing process of you evolving, taking that caterpillar into the most beautiful butterfly that you could ever imagine. So guys, enjoy your Friday. Happy belated New Year again. America's Mentor _radio on Instagram. I'm on Threads now. I've been really kind of revamping America's Mentor posting times. I've been changing them more towards the nighttime. So you start seeing my posts later at night. Please follow me, subscribe, YouTube, share. Enjoy your Friday, guys. Remember, it's never too late. I mean, don't shoot yourself in the foot, because we have so much to give. And don't conform to what's going on in the outside world right now. The hate will destroy you. Don't let it consume you. Don't let the outside world tell you who you are. You have all the information. Open those faculties of inspiration and knowledge about yourself that you know, and life is going to show you the most amazing path. Happy Friday to you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon, man.